Basically, the biggest issue with Chinese New Year for our customers is that the factories in China close. So these closures mean that there's nobody there to continue with production, there's nobody there to continue with shipping, nobody there to help with queries. So what we need to do is address this delay within our purchasing. An extra added level of difficulty is that the shutdown for the factories isn't necessarily the same for every factory. It differs per region, per industry. And there's also another level where typically after Chinese New Year is over, there's many kind of workforce issues. We don't necessarily get all of the workers back or all of the workers back on time. So this adds another level of complexity for us. It's not quite as simple as that. There's obviously many variables. To be doing this in a manual way is obviously very time consuming and difficult to get right. So we do need to get the stock in earlier, but we need to do this in a smart way. We don't want to be overloading our goods in, but equally we don't want to be risking our customers not having the stock when they need it. Yeah, so EazyStock, we've developed specific functionality called supplier calendars that are basically built to deal with any time where a supplier is not operating as they normally would. All we have to do is enter in the dates into these calendars and assign them to the supplier, and EazyStock will help us take care of the rest. EazyStock will take a look at the calendars when it's producing its recommended orders and have a look to see, based on this closure, how many more forecast periods we need to take into account with our ordering. Okay, so essentially what will happen is there will be an increase in the order level, an increase in the buffer stock, which will obviously cause an increase in the recommended orders to allow for the period of closure. Now, it's important to say we might not want to get all this stock in one go. So depending on how we configure the functionality, we can start to get this in over a period of time before our last opportunity, if that works a bit more effectively for the business to be able to help your goods in your warehouse. So you don't need a different calendar for each supplier. It very much depends on when your suppliers are closed. So some customers will have a separate calendar for each supplier and work on that level. Other customers may choose to take kind of a wider approach and put in one calendar to cover the entire period where all of their Chinese suppliers are closed. And this will just kind of allow them to get that little bit of extra stock in to give them that extra little bit of security. Yeah, so although they were developed specifically with Chinese New Year in mind, they're also used for other things as well. So Italy's national factory shutdown, which happens every summer, is another example of where we use very similar setup. Also, if we have kind of big plants that have planned maintenance and are closing for a week or two, we can put those in as well. Basically, any time where your supplier is going to be behaving out of the norm, these schedules and calendars are appropriate for.